put his jeans on. Yeah, I can see that.
So they always giving you books. And not only books, they give you the...
Okay, it's a lovely day here in Finsbury Park. Lots of people enjoying themselves. We're just leaving the children's playground and we're going through the Mackenzie Gardens here. Refurbished by money from events money here and restored to its original look as it was when it was put in 150 years ago, or certainly 100 years ago. And it's a wonderful walk through. It's a lovely place to relax in, for harmony. But it separates the sort of hustle and bustle of the playgrounds and the cafe and the park area and the long grass. And here you come in here, some beautiful laid out lawns for picnicking, for people to just sit and be quiet and admire the lovely settings, admire the flowers. You can see very pretty flowers. And you can also just relax. Just soak in the pleasant, empty park state. The lack of London noise, the relaxing appearance of all of this area, and still have the noise of children in the background. And we're going to go through to the area where the proposed pop-up pub is going to be, and you're going to see how actually imposing this sort of event will take an enormous area out of use that the people can just come and enjoy. Now you could come and enjoy at the proposed pub, but not only will you have to sort of pay for that privilege in a public park, but actually it forces you out of that area. It makes you... We're just going past the memorial stone for the 150th anniversary. Very nice piece of work, all put in and in commemoration of a park that's been here for a long time. It actually is a valuable asset to people, a free asset, a community asset, and a place, to get out, to exercise, to relax and to enjoy. And to admire some very fine features. And you can see, I think the council maintain all of this space here with some free stuff. Come here, it's a good place for... It's a lovely little relaxation area. Could do with a few more prettier flowers and maybe some roses, but perhaps roses are out of fashion these days. These are lovely flowers anyway. And it's a good walkway through. It's a beautiful setting actually when you think about it. All the shades of green that you enjoy. But we're going through here now, and here's actually what we're coming to, the key area where the council is proposing to do it all through here to actually block it off. So what you see now is a lovely view, a lovely park, background view, very lovely ambient. What there'll be here, if the council get their way and let this promoter take it, there'll be a fenced off area here. That's the imposition that's going to happen. That's what's going to take the place of this lovely area for people. So if you come through, go through, and you'll see what we got. So you'll be going to coming through from this nice quiet area, coming out here, carry your lovely walk around the park, taking the pleasantness, these great trees that have been here for some time now, and you're going to end up actually at a racket. I mean, something in the centre of this park, which will be a huge imposition. There's considerable amounts of time, and not just 4 months of the park, but as you know, in the summer, the 4 months of the park that people actually want the outdoor space, that people benefit from being outside, from being in the sunshine, from meeting friends at any time, irrespective of whether there's a pandemic or whether it's a health crisis, actually getting out. And you've got a lovely open space here. It's a bit contained, which is always good, makes people feel as if they're a little bit sort of sectioned off from the park. And you can make use of it as you wish. If people here are playing football, people just sitting down quietly, there's possibly maybe people having a picnic, catching up with friends, people possibly meeting up with relatives on a family walk out of an afternoon. But all of this will be deprived for people. It'll be taken away from them for what? I'm not sure what the benefit is. People talk about benefits, but actually I think it's a loss to people. It's a loss to the park. It's certainly a loss of open space to people, and it's an open space loss that also impacts in the wider context, because there'll be an imposing fence, there'll be an exclusion area, and you'll have all of the noise. So very much like these events go on, but they don't just have an impact in the space that people want to take. So here you are, this is the space. It won't just have an impact here, it has an impact on all of the walking round. People running round, people walking round, people go cycling round. This whole space for 4 months just given over. Okay, we're now in the proposed space. You can see it's a lovely, beautiful area. It's in wonderful condition. It used to be apparently the putting green, which for those of you of a certain age was possibly one time a great feature of a park, but now it's a lovely open space. You can just see around it, people just quietly using it, multitude of uses, lovely relaxation area. You're in the park, but you're not in the park. You've got a nice open space, wonderfully lined by trees. What's actually going to come in here is an event, posing itself as a cultural event, but actually all it really is a pub. It's actually a pub. It's a 4-month pub here for the entirety of the summer, when there's cafes outside of the park on the edge, there's a cafe inside on the park. You will actually have a pub area here, with all of the trouble that will bring, with all of the disruption it will bring to the park, and all of the impact it will have on excluding people. So what looks like a lovely, pleasant, beautiful open space at the moment will be surrounded. There'll be a fencing around it. Quite type of fencing we don't yet know, but there'll be certainly a fenced area off. And of course you'll have inside here, over this side, you'll have the toilets. If you come round this way here, you'll see where the stage is going to be. It's not going to be a big stage, hopefully not, because it might start to damage the area more than possibly stuff, but that'll be there. Of course the real purpose of it will be over in this area here, and actually this is where the bar will be. 2 repurposed shipping containers, very fancy, lovely feature, but nonetheless selling booze and actually looking quite imposing there. Going to be quite an obstruction in this park area. I think then as you come round here, you'll start to see the food areas will be here, and that'll be again more buildings here. This is a park, don't forget, you know, and these are just buildings that are going to be temporarily put here, but actually they're still buildings. They're still going to be imposing. They'll still bring damage to the park. You know, no doubt that people will say they'll repair it as new, but as we know from other events that have taken part in this park and in other parks, actually the repairs are actually a deterioration. These areas get damaged by year on use, by machinery that's going to have to come on here to bring it off, the extra space of people trampling on here, the tables will be laid out here. They say there's going to be 700 people capacity. That's a significant shift from the few hundred and the small type of events they proposed at the start. Now obviously those 700 people are going to have to be socially distanced in this place. That's going to be quite a task. So in many ways actually you've got to ask yourself, is this really what this area is designed for? I don't think it is. This area is a lovely open space bit of park. It's an area for relaxation, it's an area to be calm, to meet up with friends, and it's not an area to be given over to a pub. There are plenty of pubs nearby. Like I said, there's 2 cafes outside of the park, inside of the park. People can bring their own barbecues in, people can bring drinks in. That's not an issue with that respect. But what you've got here is a business imposing itself in a public place and benefiting from this public investment in a green space, but actually in no way helping the local community to enjoy their public assets. They're actually excluding people. And this assembled bar or the company are, I mean, that's really what it's about. It's not about a cultural event. It's not about having, we could easily have a pop-up stage near the cafe. You could have pop-up stage elsewhere. You certainly wouldn't be hearing them singing Happy Birthday as we hear them singing now. You would actually have that event, it'd be somewhere else. It wouldn't be here. And that's the major thing about these events. They take away people's public space. They take away and damage public areas. And it's all to the exclusion of the public in the main, and it's all to the general disruption of the park. This pub in the park must be stopped. Let's have a park for what its purpose is for, recreation, for relaxation, for enjoying the beauty of nature, it is not a 4-month boozer.